Today's prompt in the RPG A Day 2019 challenge is friendship. And I thought at first that I would just talk about, being friends around the table and how role-playing games can bring friends together. But then I got to thinking about a recent, at least recent to me, development in gaming, which is that a number of role-playing games are beginning to include bonds or friendship as a facet of character creation. So once you've done creating who you are, you have to start thinking about how that character connects to the rest of the group. And this goes back to an earlier talk that I gave during the challenge where I was talking about being engaged. Engagement at the table is as much a player side thing as it is a dungeon master thing. And this development of bonds and a facet of friendship within the character creation process is really helpful for this kind of engagement. What it does is it takes the duty of saying, why are you guys all together, and makes it part of the character creation process, so that's not an afterthought. It's not something that you come to later so that you're asking why your anti-paladin is hanging around with a cleric of light or something like that, or why the vampire hunter is hanging out with a vampire. You establish these bonds during character creation, and if this is done in a collaborative way with all of the players, these bonds get past that kind of adversarial playing that can sometimes disrupt a game and run it completely off the rails. So in effect, this is about the friendship around the table, in that players ought to be able to get along. It's better if your table dynamic involves friends, but we want that friendship to extend beyond the meta level where the players are playing a game into the game world. That doesn't mean everybody has to be buddies, and that's why I love that word bonds, because a bond is something that ties you to another person. That isn't necessarily friendship, but it is an allegiance of sorts. This sort of bonding is really helpful, not only in creating good stories, but also in maintaining great friendships around the table. And I think it's a really great development that we've been seeing lately in gaming, and one that I would encourage you to include, even if you're running a game where it's not part of character creation.